need to, how you need to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get, now for the fun ones.
Can we?
Yeah, you can turn those in.
Are you guys doing any rehearsals at all this week?
Yeah, we got brush up on Tuesday. And then show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I think my favorite part was Tommy's dancing. He's like, I hate dancing. But we came up to him after the show and we're like, we've never seen you dance like that before.
He can dance.
He hates it.
He's fine at it.
He's like, they have to dumb it down for me.
Keep it simple for all of it. I mean, there's a few dancers in that cast, but for the most part, no.
Yeah, unless you're doing newsies, you can just dumb down.
Okay, so, sex linked. There are some traits that are carried on the sex chromosomes. And before we even get started, what are the sex chromosomes for females? What makes a female a female?
Is it XY or is it XX?
It's going to be XX. Males are XY. And the thing is, I mean, if you just have one X, you're still considered a female. And this happens, I will say frequently, but it's not uncommon. And you have what's called Turner syndrome. Sometimes you may have be a male, but you have an XXY. And that's called Klinefelter's. But you can be XXXXXXXXY, and you would still be considered a male. So the Y is really what determines the gender. But some traits are, and first of all, here's my X, and here's my Y. The Y's are much, much smaller than the X's. So which one of these chromosomes is going to carry more information? The X, obviously, okay? So there's some things that are found on the X. There's some genes that are found on the X that aren't found on the Y. And so when we start getting into sex-linked genetic disorders, it's most commonly seen in the male. And that's because females have a backup. That's a back. Oh, why did that happen? Oh, how do I get rid of this?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I am not tech savvy at all.
Let me come over here, see if I can figure it out on this stuff. It tends to be more responsive than the smart board.
Do you know how to get rid of that?
No. What am I supposed to
Like, Kane,
figure out how to get rid of?
Kane is
Oh,
helping
there it
me
goes.
figure out my computer for college because I don't, like, I barely even know how to, like, open a cabinet.
So again, females have a backup X. Most, and these are just some general things, most genetic disorders are recessive, or most sex-linked disorders are recessive. So if it's a recessive disorder, what does that tell you? In order to have that disorder, what can you not have? Yeah, you can't have a dominant allele. So let's say you are a female. And we'll use color blindness because most people are familiar with color blindness, and it is a classic example for sex-linked disorders. So let's okay, I'm going to back up just a hair. So color blindness. Recessive, found on X. Okay, let's say you are a female and you have normal vision. You're going to be X in, big N, X big N. Because in this case, big N is going to be normal. If you have a little n, you're going to have, it shows for the trait. So, this lady here, she's going to be normal. What if I'm X big N, X little n? What am I going to be? Do you have a dominant allele?
No.
Yes, you do have a dominant allele. So, are you going to be normal, or are you going to be colorblind, or are you going to be what's called a carrier?
Carrier.
You're going to be a carrier because you're heterozygous for colorblindness. If you are X little n, what are you going to be? You're going to be colorblind, like Mr. Hook. Now, on guys, they only have one X. So this male here, he's going to be what? He's going to be normal because he has that dominant normal gene. If he has a little n, he's going to be what? He's going to be colorblind because we don't have a big N here to mask it. Like we saw here, we had a big N that masked that little n. So this person's a carrier. In this case, he's just going to be colorblind. There are no carriers for colorblindness in males. Okay?
So like if you're just colorblind, you're colorblind and you can't pass it on to your kids or whatever?
You can, but in this case, I mean, there's no fix. You don't have anything that masks it in your situation. Okay, so let's say we have a female carrier for colorblind. I'm going to abbreviate that CB because I'm feeling lazy. What's her alleles? First of all, what are her alleles that make her a female? XX. Okay, she's a carrier. What are her alleles going to be for colorblindness? It's going to be a big N, little n. She's going to marry a male or have kids with a male who is normal. Okay, first of all, what are the alleles for a guy? XY. He's normal. What's going to be the gene on my X? It's going to be a big N. Okay, we're going to do the Punnett square. Now in this case, first of all, you always have to put the alleles for the gender. So go ahead and put in your X's and your Y's. Okay, and then we're going to go back and we're going to put in the alleles for colorblindness. And we said that mom was heterozygous, or she was a carrier. So we're going to put a big N here and a little n here. We said dad was normal. So we're going to put our big N here. We're going to carry all of this down and all of it across. So you're going to end up with 4 letters in each box. Okay, got our Punnett square done. Now we're just doing our summary. So we've got X big N, X big N. We have X big N, X little n. In this case, we've got one of each. Have an X big N and a Y, and an X little n and a Y. Okay, got one of 4 for our probability. Okay, this person here, we need a phenotype. So we need a description. First of all, what gender are they going to be? Female. And what can you tell me about her?
Normal.
She's normal. Yeah, that's an N. Okay, person number 2 is going to be, if you can read my writing, it's going to be a female, and she's going to be a what? She's a carrier. This person here is a male, and he is going to be normal. And this person here is going to be male with color blindness. Okay, let's do another example. Anybody know what hemophilia is?
Something with the blood.
It does. The blood doesn't clot. So a lot of times they're called bleeders because if they get a cut, even if they get a bruise, they can bleed to death. So hemophilia is another recessive disorder. Okay, so female is, we're going to call her normal. Male is hemophiliac. I'm going to abbreviate that H because I'm feeling lazy. Okay, so what's the alleles going to be for my female? XX. And what about her alleles for hemophilia? She's going to have 2 big letters. And just because my X's and N's look alike, I want to use H's. It doesn't matter what letter you use, just be consistent. Okay, what's the letter for my male? XY. He has hemophilia. So what's going to be on my X? It's going to be a little h. Because there's no dominant allele there to mask it. So we do our Punnett square. X big H, X big H, X little h, and Y. And again, be really, really careful, especially like when you're talking. A lot of times you want to use C for color blindness, and sometimes you can't tell if it's a big C or little c, especially as you get into the problem. So carry everything down, carry everything over. Okay, do our summaries. We've got X big H, X little h. We have 2 of those. We have an X big H and a Y. And we have 2 of those. What's this person going to be? Female and carrier. What about this person? Male and he's got a big H.
Then he's normal.
He's normal, exactly. Okay, got the idea? Okay, see what you can do. Oh no, you need more assignments.